Morning guys, hope you're all keeping well. I'm just doing a wee bit of a follow-up from yesterday's check-in call, and I just want to run through the information that I emailed out to you all after we caught up yesterday morning. But the big thing that we were kind of trying to focus on and I suppose evaluate was, how has your week, how did that week one go? Was it, did you feel like you were on track? Did you feel like it was off track? Or were you kind of somewhere in between where some things went well, other things not so much? And I know myself, like I said yesterday, my week started off pretty strong. I was doing a mixture of tracking between my fitness pal, which was really to gauge my protein intake every day, and then I was using some images with regards to certain meals that I was having or snacks. And literally just as it popped into my head, I was taking a picture of it on my phone, just to kind of gauge what was going on visually as well. But we covered this with regards to the benefits and just trying to highlight those again, the benefits of actual good nutrition. I suppose good, it could be the benefits of improvements in our nutrition as well. So there's a bigger list there. There are other things that could be on that, but in a whole, it's all kind of guided towards trying to improve aspects of our health, our fitness, our strength with regards to performance and what happens in the studio, but just generally how we feel outside of here as well with regards to our sleep and our energy and recovering between sessions and just generally our quality of life, okay? If it's too confusing, then we won't start, and if it's too restrictive, we won't continue, okay? That's why we haven't kind of started off immediately with giving people diet plans and really trying to give like a hard number on calories or macros and things like that there. The first week was all about awareness, increasing your own awareness via tracking your food and visually having a better idea of what you're consuming, and then using the likes of MyFitnessPal or just pen and paper, just to really open your eyes to the types of foods we're consuming and how easy it is to actually over consume calories without even knowing. A couple of examples were given yesterday when we were chatting, but one of them was like a cupcake, like a muffin, and that's about 500-600 calories. Without even knowing and without kind of consciously tracking, it could be something like that happens 3, 4, 5 times a week. That adds up to maybe a couple of thousand calories that you can't quite account for because we just do it day to day without actually realizing. Okay. A big thing that we all need to do, and again, I suppose the target for week one was us increasing our own awareness and taking more control of the food choices and overall the calories that we consume. Okay. If the goal is weight loss, then we need to have a better understanding of the foods that we're eating and how overall calories has an impact on our body composition, okay? What we do in this decade will dictate the following decade. Sleep, training, nutrition, stress management, levels of activity, throughout the week, the types of training we do and whether or not it's having a positive impact on our health. And getting a nice blend of like strength-based work and aerobic type work as well. And again, it can seem maybe a bit far into the distance, but we're essentially delaying kind of gratitude there of like the hard work that we're doing now and how we're going to reap the rewards of that over the next in the coming years. Okay. And again, something always to keep in mind: nutrition doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, so 80-20 rule, or maybe 90-10, depending on how you've got your kind of things set up. But most of what we consume should be kind of guided towards helping our overall health and training. Okay, and nutrition plays a huge part in that with regards to just general health. But it doesn't have to be so rigid that everything's cut out of your diet. And that's why, again, another reason why we haven't give people diet plans. We need to have that level of flexibility where we can go for a meal or have a beer or a glass of wine or have a slice of cake because you're at a birthday party. It doesn't need to be 100% all the time. Okay, partly because it's not sustainable and you'll eventually fall off the wagon completely, and then nothing will be in place. But we need that level of flexibility so that we can still enjoy certain things that we like. Okay. The food pyramid, training and health pyramid. Again, in order of priority, starting from the bottom. With a goal of weight loss, getting leaner, trying to build strength, our overall energy balance and calories is number one priority there. We need to make sure we're managing our calories overall to ensure that we're consuming enough, for example, to get stronger and still build muscle. But if there's a weight loss goal, we need to make sure that we'll have a better handling of total calories throughout the day in order to create a slight deficit, okay? We need to be consuming slightly less calories than what our body actually requires if we want to lose weight, okay? If your weight's kind of stagnating a wee bit around the same number, or if it's been increasing, it's more than likely because there hasn't been enough activity, which for most of you won't be an issue. You're training regularly. It'll more than likely be to do with total calorie consumption, where overall calories per day stretched out over weeks and months is just too high, okay? Priority number 2 will be macronutrients. So that's when we're talking about protein, carbohydrates, and fats. And we delved into a couple of examples of those yesterday. But even within that category of macronutrients, protein would be the priority, okay? That's the one we should really focus on, and then build the other food groups around it, okay? Micronutrients is all your vitamins and your minerals and antioxidants that we get from fruit and veg. And again, someone mentioned there yesterday that they just realised how little fruit and veg they consumed, and they only noticed it because they started tracking. So they were able to make some actions around it. Nutrient timing, as in when you have your meals, it is important in the long term, but definitely not something we should be kind of overthinking or trying to complicate if we haven't got, priorities 1, 2, and 3 under control, okay? And supplements, again, top of the pyramid, but of least importance with regards to the other kind of areas. And again, a couple of things we covered yesterday were protein intake and creatine monohydrate, which again, I would recommend for nearly everyone, unless there's something medically kind of guiding your decision where you've been told not to take it, which in most cases, people won't have been given that kind of medical advice. They're the 2 main supplements we would tend to recommend. A bit of a catch-all for like daily structure. Everyone's routine is different, but we all need a mix of the same things basically. Are we hydrated enough? And are we getting a mix of those food groups? Fats, protein, carbohydrates, and veggies, okay? Fruit and veg, okay? We really need to make sure we have a nice balance of those. Again, doesn't need to be perfect, but we should be consuming a mixture of all of these every day. If you get to the end of your day or the end of your week and you've barely had any fruit and veg, you start to notice that you're not really having any protein, or you're going the other way and you're having too big a portion with regards to certain food groups, which can happen very easily, then we need to get a better handle on that if we're trying to control our calories. Things that impact our life day to day with regards to family commitments, work, etc., which then has an impact on our nutritional decisions as well, okay? So again, that's not a comprehensive list, but it kind of covers quite a few different areas that could make decisions around nutrition slightly harder, okay? How we build our meals, okay? So this will have a big impact on regards to us actually controlling our portions, but also making sure that we're covering all food groups. In order of priority, top left, looking at protein, and then adding your fruit and veg, going to your carbohydrates and going to your fats. And again, there's a way to guide portion control with regards to just hand size. So 1 to 2 hand size portions of protein, 1 to 2 hand sizes of fruit and veg, okay? It's a really nice way to kind of control our portions and our calories without maybe having to track every single thing. These are pretty bad pictures, but they're a mixture of a couple of things that I've had the previous week, okay? It doesn't include everything, but you can see there's a recurrent theme around like yogurt, fruit and berries, some sort of egg throughout the week. But again, there was a few treats in there. There's a couple of things that aren't on it. For example, a protein shake, which would be I'm currently using the plant-based protein with some creatine. But again, that was a good way for me to get a better idea of the foods that I was consuming and the meals that I was having without having to record every single thing through the app, okay? What gets measured gets managed, okay? That's why we keep pressing you on those first couple of kind of week 1 tasks. Body composition metrics, your program plays a big part in that. But if we're not measuring things that we want to see improvements in, then we don't know, we're just guessing, okay? And that, again, if you link it to the likes of your program when you come in to train, that's why we have it built out so the structure, so that we can track things over time and see if things are actually working, okay? So if there's a couple of things you want to see improvements in, we need to have a metric, a baseline metric to track over time to see if what you're doing is actually working. Again, supplements, top 2 would be the priority here for us if we are going to take anything. As we go down the list, multivitamin, fish oil, vitamin D, they become more of a requirement if there's gaps in our nutrition, but we want to address that through our nutrition initially rather than go down the supplement line, okay? Q&A, again, feel free guys to drop me a reply to this email with any questions you have, but take a wee bit of time to digest this. This is basically the best part of 10 minutes, which I'd hope to be closer to like 6 minutes, but take some time, watch it over the next couple of days. But any questions, just give me a shout, okay? All the best.